Hello friends, welcome back to Go Tutorials. In the previous sections, we have been seeing user-defined types. Already we are done with two chapters, right? The first one is with struct, the second one is for methods. Now this is the third part of the series, which is all about interfaces. So most of you know what is an interface. Some of the people might know Java, some of the people might not. So those who know Java already, they know what an interface is. I just give an introduction to interface for those who are not aware of the concept from the previous experience. Right. So interfaces are nothing but abstractions of your code. So you have some methods, you have some functions which you are planning for some different operations, but you want to use the same function. So what we will do, we will declare and inform the compiler. These are all the functions I am going to use, but I am not going to define them right away. But I will define them, sorry, we just declare them, but we won't implement them. So we will implement them as per the need, but a same function will have various implementations across our code. So this is called as implementation, right? So implementation is nothing but the code we write for the execution of function, whereas declaration is simple declaration. This is the function I am going to use, just specifying the function name. So interface is nothing but a simple abstraction for the functions or methods. So none of the interfaces will have the body of a function or a method written inside it. It just has only declarations. We will define the functions outside the interface. But the implementations can be written as per the need. Whenever we need it, we can write implementations. Right. And the one more thing we need to know is, consider I wrote an interface. I have a function or method declared inside the interface. So whenever you need to invoke the method or a function, you definitely need the object of the interface, using which we can only invoke the method or function. So this is all about a smart introduction about interfaces. Let us see how interfaces work in Go programming language in action. I will open the command prompt, increasing the font a bit, cd go demo, so pico interdemo.go. So as usual, package main import to fmt, going to create the same user defined type country as we did in our previous section. So gonna have name and currency as per our previous code. Now function main. So inside main, I'm going to create a variable India of type country with the initialized values India, and my currency will be INR, right? So now I'm going to write a method with the name display. So since being a method, I'm specifying a value receiver, which is a country. And if I try to print it as format.Println C, sorry, and then I need to invoke it using the india.display. So India will be passed as a value to the receiver C and in the display method, and it needs to be printed. So go run interdemo India INR. So it is as simple as this. We have seen the same code in the previous videos, right? Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to create an interface. So instead of calling the function display, from calling the method display directly from main, I'm going to associate this display method with an interface. So using the interface object, we will invoke the display method. So now I'm going to create an interface. So I'm going to name my interface as a printer. So we have to use the keyword type interface name. You can do whatever you wish. I just named my interface as printer. We need to follow it with the keyword interface. So for the user defined types, we use struct to create that, right? Similarly, for interfaces, we need to create interface with this name, right? Which method I'm going to associate with the interface? Display is the method I'm going to associate. So I just need to mention it as display, right? So now we are done with declaring an interface and defining, that is a declaring. So display will be a part of printer interface. So this is as simple as this, right? Now I'm going to write an invoker function which will call the display method using the interface object. So my code will be function call printer. So what is it will do? It will carry a printer object. This is a function. It is not a method. So this is function to call the method using interface object. Here the interface object will be P. So using the object P, what I will do is P dot display. So I'm going to invoke the method like this, right? So this is the place using the interface object P, we are invoking the method display, right? So call printer is the helper function for us. This function will get or receive the user interface, that is the printer interface object. Using the object, it will invoke the method display, right? So our job is now done. From the main, I am removing the invocation statement for the display. Now I need to invoke the call printer function. Call printer function. Here we need to see the call printer function carries a printer as an argument. So here I need to pass a printer. So what is the scope of the printer interface? The printer interface invokes the display method. What does the display method does? The display method receives a value receiver. What is the type of the value receiver? The type of the value receiver is country. So what I need to do? I need to pass a country here. It is as simple as this. So whenever you want to pass a country, so automatically my country is India. So this country will be passed to the interface printer P, using which the method display will be invoked. So the printer interface P use just passes the value India to the value receiver country in the display method. So India will be passed to the display method as a value receiver through the interface printer. So what does it means? Variable India will be passed to the display method through the printer interface as a value receiver, right? So India will be passed to the value receiver C of the display method. Then if you try to print the variable C, then automatically the country will be printed. It is a simple code. So if you compile and run it, the same India INR will be printed in the console. It is as simple as this. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to change the value receiver as a pointer receiver. Now I am compiling the same code. If I run it, what is it telling? Cannot use India type country as type pointer in argument to call printer. Country does not implement printer. Display method has pointer receiver, right? So pointer receiver cannot receive the actual values. So in order to make a pointer receiver executable, we are not supposed to pass values. We need to pass an address. So what we did here in our code is, instead of passing India, we are just making it as and India. That means we are passing the reference of this particular variable India. So the reference will be passed to the pointer receiver of display through the interface printer. So after receiving the reference got printed to the screen, that is the reference of India INR. So this is as simple as this, how we did in the previous code, how to pass a value receiver and a pointer receiver. The same way we are passing here, but remember, we are not passing the value receiver or pointer receiver directly to the method. We are using interfaces to pass them. So we pass the objects or we pass the variables to the interface. The interface receives them and passes those values or pointers to the methods defined inside the interface. This is how interfaces work in Go programming language. So interfaces are very much used to just declare the functions. Here we have printer is the interface, display is the method inside the interface. What are we doing here? We just declare the method here. We are not at all writing any body inside the interface. So the body of the display method lies here. So in order to invoke the display method, we are using the interface object. The interface object is printer p, using which we are invoking here. Any type of value can be passed to the interface object, using which it will be passed to the receiver of the method declared in the interface. So this is all about defining a simple interfaces. Now we are going to see something new and something interesting, which is called as polymorphism. So what is a polymorphism? A polymorphism, we know we use the same function for different operations. So this is what now we are going to do. Right. So already state, which is Tamil Nadu. So what we are doing here is a polymorphic behavior of display method is being facilitated using interface printer. So this is how polymorphism works when dealing with interfaces. So polymorphism is nothing but multiple behaviors, the same function performing different operations. Here the call printer is the function we use to pass the printer interface, but display is the method which behaves in two different angles. So then the first time the display carries a pointer receiver for a country type. The second display implementation carries a pointer receiver of type state. So these are all two different types of implementations for the display method, but we defined display only once in the printer interface. So this is how polymorphism being implemented in Go programming language using interfaces. So thank you for watching the video. If you have any doubts or any comments or even suggestions, please put them below in the comment section. I will definitely reply to each and every comment. Thanks for watching. Please click the subscribe button and don't forget to click the bell button. It will enable you to get updated whenever a new video is getting posted. Let us meet in the next video. Bye for now.